బినామీలు తన ల్యాండ్ను ఎగ్జామ్ చేసినారు, పక్కన పెట్టినప్పుడు మిగతా భూములను బలవంతంగా తీసుకునే కార్యక్రమం చేశారు. తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఈ భూములను కూడా he started giving those lands to people at whatever rates he wants, to whomsoever he wants. అంటే ఏ రేటు పడితే ఆ రేటుకు, తనకు నచ్చిన రేటుకు, తనకి ఇష్టం వచ్చిన రేటుకు, ఇష్టం వచ్చిన వాడికి. ఇవన్నీ ఇట్స్ నాట్ అ మామూలు స్కామ్ కాదు, ఇట్స్ going to be a sensational scam. See, one thing I can tell you, I have nothing against Chandrababu. I have nothing against them. My duty is of custodian. So today I am going to promise you just one thing. Our government will be revolutionary. This government will stand as an example. ఈ రోజు నుంచి within 6 months to 1 year, I will make sure that this government will stand as exemplary to the country. అంత రెవల్యూషనరీ ప్రాక్టీసెస్ తీసుకొస్తాం. కరప్షన్ అనేది ఎక్కడా కూడా లేకుండా చేస్తాం. దిస్ వన్ థింగ్ ఐఎమ్ అష్యూరింగ్ యూ. We will clean up the system. మామూలుగా ఉన్నది cleaning up system. We will not only clean the system, we will show how the system is being cleaned. I will show you, this is the scam, this is the saving. మేము లేకపోయింటే ఇంతగా దోచుకోబడే పరిస్థితి ఉండేది. మేము ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి ఈ దోపిడీని ఆపగలిగాము అని చెప్పి ప్రతి ఇన్స్టెన్స్లో లాట్ ఆఫ్ మోడిఫికేషన్స్ తీసుకొస్తాం. We will bring in reverse tendering. Reverse tendering అంటే తెలుసుకుందామా? రివర్స్ టెండరింగ్ అంటే స్కామ్ పలానా చోట జరిగింది, పలానా వర్క్లో, పలానా కాంట్రాక్ట్లో జరిగింది అని అంటే we will immediately identify that work, we will immediately cancel that work, we will increase the pre-qualification criteria so that more number of people can participate. ఎక్కువ మంది దాంట్లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసే పరిస్థితి తీసుకొస్తాం. తర్వాత we'll go for reverse tendering. ఈ రేటు కన్నా ఎవరు తక్కువ రేటు కోట్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తారంట. So that if somebody quotes 20% less, then I can say this is the scam. Because YCP is in power, because YSR Congress Party power lo undi kabatti 20% migilindi. We will show everything, we will be transparent. Transparency level lo maamul stage nunchi ee stage తీసుకొని పోతాం. రాబోయే రోజుల్లో we will detailedly explain how we are going to do things, how exactly are we going to be monitoring this. Transparency in ఈ స్టేజ్ నుంచి ఇంకో స్టేజ్ తీసుకుంటాం.
There are 32 cases against you and you are visiting CBI court every Friday in Hyderabad. How do you manage as CM?
So what is it? See, this mandate itself is an indication that people know what it is all about. కేసులు ఎవరు పెట్టారు? Who are the petitioners in my case? None other than Chandrababu Naidu himself, his own party people, and none other than Congress people themselves. Both of them are petitioners in my case. Isn't that good enough reason that where the cases have originated from? The worst part, none of these cases were on me while my father was the chief minister. And none of these cases were on me while I was in Congress party. It was only after my father's death, it was only after I left the Congress party. అంటే నేను నాన్న బతుకున్నప్పుడు కేసులు లేవు, నేను కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీలో ఉన్నంత వరకు నా మీద కేసులు లేవు. నాన్న చనిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ మై ఫాదర్స్ డెత్, ఆఫ్టర్ ఐ లెఫ్ట్ ది కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీ, ద పిటిషనర్స్ ఇన్ మై కేస్ ఎవరు అని అంటే నన్ అదర్ దెన్ తెలుగుదేశం అండ్ నన్ అదర్ దెన్ కాంగ్రెస్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ ద వర్స్ట్ పార్ట్. వెన్ మై ఫాదర్ వాజ్ ద చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్, మా నాన్న ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను సెక్రటేరియట్లో అడుగు పెట్టాను. I never set my foot in the secretariat. I never made a phone call to a minister. ఒక మంత్రికి నేను ఫోన్ చేయాలి, ఒక సెక్రటరీకి నేను ఫోన్ చేయాలి, ఒక సెక్రటేరియట్లో అడుగు పెట్టాలి. వర్స్ట్, I was not even in Hyderabad. నేను హైదరాబాద్లోనే నేను నాన్న ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు I was in Bangalore. Once in a while, once in a month maybe, to see my parents, 2-3 days, I used to be in Hyderabad. This is the background of the cases. Everybody in Andhra Pradesh knows about it. Andhakane people have given this verdict in the People's Court, clearly teaching these people about lesson. Yeah, but major questions అయిపోయినాయి కదా ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం అన్నీ అనే కదా. పోలవరం ప్రాజెక్టు కొనసాగించాల్సిన అవసరం ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి లేదు. కానీ ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి ఉన్న ఒకే ఒక్క అవసరం ఏమిటి అంటే యుద్ధ ప్రాతిపదికన ఆ పోలవరం ప్రాజెక్టు పూర్తి చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. కాబట్టి ఏ చర్యలు తీసుకున్నా కూడా అది కూడా నువ్వు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఒకవేళ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసి రివర్స్ టెండరింగ్ పిలిచి వెంటనే ఈ మేరకు లాభాలు ఈ మేరకు మిగిలిచ్చే కార్యక్రమం, ఈ మేరకు స్కామ్ జరిగిందని చెప్పి కూడా చూపించే కార్యక్రమం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఏమిటి చేస్తాం. కానీ ఆ టెండర్లు పిలిచినప్పుడు కూడా వెంటనే చెప్తాం ఈ ప్రాజెక్టు ఈ టైం బౌండ్ మేనర్లో పూర్తి చేయాల్సిందే, వేరే ఆప్షన్స్ లేవు అని. అక్కడ కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వాన్ని ఇన్వాల్వ్ చేసి వాళ్ళ ద్వారానే టెండర్లు ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళ ద్వారానే రివర్స్ టెండరింగ్ చేయించే కార్యక్రమం చేసే అవకాశం ఉంటే వాళ్ళతోనే చేయిస్తాం. We don't mind. All what I need is Polavaram project should be completed on a time bound manner. That is all what I need. ప్రస్తుతానికైతే నేను ఒక్కనే 30వ తారీఖున ఒక ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం జరుగుతుందమ్మా, ఒక్కనే. తర్వాత వారం 10 రోజుల్లో డీటెయిల్డ్ ఎక్స్పాన్షన్.
మొదటి సంతకం
చూద్దామబ్బా, మీరంతా మొదటి సంతకంతో ఆగిపోయే పరిస్థితి కాదు. యూ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ 9 పథకాలు నవరత్నాలు. సో మై డ్యూటీ ఈస్ టు డెలివర్ దెమ్. సో ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ దట్ ఒకదాంతో కన్ఫైన్ అయ్యే కార్యక్రమం ఉండదు. బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం రోజుకల్లా ఏమేం చేయబోతా ఉన్నాము, డే 1 నుంచి ఏం చేయబోతా ఉన్నాము అన్నది కిక్ స్టార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దేర్. డెఫినెట్గా ఏమేం జరగబోతా ఉన్నా ఆ రోజు స్పీచ్ చూస్తే నీకు అర్థం. నేను కాదు ఇంగ్లీష్ పోయాను కానీ మీకు గోన్ మా ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం anybody have any questions anyone of you has? Sure, go ahead.
Number one, you went and met the Prime
Please
Minister.
introduce yourself.
So that I can call you by name. That's the whole objective.
I'm Payal Mehta from CNN Network.
Sure, Payal.
You went and met the Prime Minister. The premise on which you have said that you wanted to come to power only so that you can ensure special status for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Any assurances from the centre on that? And secondly, what are the options that you really have? Are you looking at getting into the NDA? Would you be aligned with the NDA in some form or the other?
See, the fact is, had these numbers been 250, what I prayed for literally, it would have been a wonderful moment for the states. A word what was given on the floor of the House was not delivered. That is the plight of democracy that we see today. But yes, unfortunately, since those numbers are not 250 that we were hoping for, and since these numbers are 340 or not, what have actually been a reality, there is very little that we can do in demanding or in commanding. But yes, we did meet the Prime Minister. We did explain to him as to how the special category status is so much required for us. We did mention to him that it is so very important because it's the lifeline for us. We did explain to him the background of it. Other than that, we also explained to him the state's plight. Today the state debt burden is so phenomenally high. In fact, 67 years of independence, when the state was bifurcated, the debt burden what was transferred was during bifurcation was 97,000 crores. In these 5 years, our debt has actually swelled to 2,58,000 crore rupees. Our interest repayments alone is 20,000 crores per annum. And our principal and interest put together are repayments of 40,000 crores per annum. So this is the kind of situation that we are in. And we did explain to him that, this being the situation, it's very important that, we need a lifeline from you. You need not need us. He doesn't need us. But I've told him that, this is the time to be magnanimous. This is the time now that you are in position of strength. Someone being in position of strength, being in position of strength, and not having the need to do it, but yet doing it for the people of a particular state because a word was given as a precondition for bifurcation. And that kind of magnanimity, this is the time to actually exhibit. Of course, we tried, and I'm happy that he listened to it. But he listened to the whole thing. He was positive about it. He was positive about the state. He was positive about everything. And that's a good sign. But from here, we're just hoping that, things would come out positively in our direction. So we're just hoping that things would emerge in our direction in a positive way. But one thing I can assuredly say, so this is the first meeting with the Prime Minister today, and God's grace, God willing, I'll probably be meeting the Prime Minister maybe another 30 times, or 40 times, or 50 times, whatever God permits me to do over these 5 years. Every time I go meet him, I will definitely make it a point to remind him of special category status, to remind him that this was a word given on the floor of the Parliament. And we're not going to just let go of it. Okay. Today, we might not get it. We might be at somebody's mercy. But someday, as long as we keep reminding and reminding and reminding and reminding and reminding, and someday things will change, and that someday we will have a situation where it will become a reality. And today, the most important thing is why we are pressing it so hard. The reason why we're pressing it so hard is because we have a situation where, while the state was divided itself, everybody knew that this is the first time where a demanding state for bifurcation took away the capital. Never in the history of this country a situation like this took place, where a state demanding bifurcation took the capital. This is the first time it so happened, and that is Andhra Pradesh. And never is there a case where, as a precondition for bifurcation, the Parliament approved special category status and then bifurcated the state. And never so it has ever happened in these situations that you ever found a state like this, where our people, our students, our youngsters who graduate, they have no place to go for a job. We cannot compete with Hyderabad, we cannot compete with Bangalore, we cannot compete with Chennai. So until and unless something special is given, until and unless we have 100% IT exemption, what actually comes with special category status, until unless we have 100% GST, what actually comes with special category status, only these kind of incentives would motivate somebody to come and set up hospitals, hotels, industry, IT. Only then these kind of things would come. So this is very important for our youngsters to actually to find a job. Where do we go for jobs? But at the same time, these numbers put the central government at a big advantage and depriving us of the advantage what otherwise we would have expected from a home government.
Are you denying any
I
option?
think we'll give them.
Sir, this is
No, Krishna.
Sir, this is Shantashri from Republic TV.
Sure.
So when TDP broke away from NDA, that time Arun Jaitley, the finance minister, had pointed out that the 14th finance commission, had completely dissolved the particular nomenclature status. I don't need it, sir. Special status. So don't you think that this time around, how you are talking about pursuing Prime Minister again and again, but if the numbers are not in the favor, but they had not even acknowledged TDP's presence in the NDA and they broke away, what is the difference that you are going to make by talking to Prime Minister again and again? Because 14th Commission had already dissolved the special category status. They were willing to give you monetary equivalent, but not the particular status, special status. What is the difference that you are going to make?
You're good to know.
Shantashri, Republic.
Shantashri. See, Shantama, one second. There's some little bit of clarification that is required here. To begin with, the 14th Finance Commission did not reject. That's number one. The reason being, the 14th Finance Commission member, Abhijit Singh, has given a written letter clearly saying that we have not rejected. The 14th Finance Commission chairman, Mr. Y.V. Reddy, was vocal, it hit all the newspapers first, was vocal in saying that we do not deal with this subject of granting special category status or not. It is not our subject. And we have not recommended for abolition of special category status, is what Mr. Y.V. Reddy also very categorically spoke. So you have the 14th Finance Commission members clearly clarifying it, and you also have 14th Finance Commission chairman also clarifying that they have not recommended for abolition of special category status because it does not come under their purview. All what they have said is, they have said when it comes to revenue deficit grants, that they have just cleared that irrespective of whether the state is special category or not, if any state has got revenue deficit coming into the picture, that should be bridged. That's all what they spoke about. They have never spoken about abolition of special category status because it's not their purview. And as far as this particular incident, this particular special category status is concerned, on March 2nd, 2014, the then UPA government, after bifurcation, held a cabinet meet. And in that cabinet meet, they approved special category status. So basically, a grant of special category status is an executive decision. Meaning executive decision, meaning it is the will of the Prime Minister, will of the cabinet to approve special category status. So on March 2nd, 2014, it was approved. The cabinet said Andhra Pradesh should be given special category status, and the directions were also passed to Planning Commission. And the Planning Commission was present, was very much alive till 31st December 2014. Till 31st December 2014, Planning Commission was very much alive. It was only on 1st January 2015 that Niti Aayog came in. So the cabinet approved on 2nd March 2014, and the file was just left in Planning Commission for implementation for the whole 7 months. And unfortunately, our Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu did not bother about it. Had he gone to Planning Commission and pursued it then itself, it would have been a reality. We would have been talking about. We would not have been talking about this issue.
Sir, Tanushree from India Today. Sir, meeting Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister is one thing, and meeting BJP President Amit Shah is another. So, is that your way of showing allegiance to the BJP? Secondly, I know you are a state leader. But since you have had a history with the Congress party, do you think the dynasty politics and Rahul Gandhi have to go for the Congress to survive, sir?
Your good name, what?
So Tanushree from India.
Yeah, Tanushree. See, the problem is, see, as far as my meeting with Amit Shah ji is concerned, is because today, the most powerful person in this country, at least a person who can help our state, be it with finances or be it with special category status or be it with anything, is the Prime Minister himself. So he is the Prime Minister and I am the Chief Minister. So I need to ask him, I need to request him, I need to do everything what I should be doing as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh to persuade him to do the best what he can to the state of Andhra Pradesh. And as far as meeting Amit Shah is concerned, Amit Shah ji is concerned, who is the number 2 man, who is the most powerful number 2 man in the country? Can I ask you straight? Tell me.
You have already decided that.
I did not say. You were saying it as well. You were saying it as well along with me. See, everybody in this room, everybody in this room knows about it. See, today the second most powerful man in this country is obviously the president of the party that is in power, and that is none other than the party president Amit Shah. So me meeting the second most powerful man in this country is also to make sure and also to request the second most man in this country to also persuade the first most powerful man in this country to help Andhra Pradesh tide over the situation that we are in.
So the
No,
Congress
you
question,
said
sir.
you are disappointed with the
I
numbers, right?
will not catch on.
Mr. Reddy, the Congress question, do you think Rahul Gandhi and the dynasty politics must go for the Congress to survive, sir? You have had a history with the Congress party.
See, at this stage, it's not right on my part to comment on party that is lost. So it's not right on my part to make any such comments. It's their internal decision, internal democracy, and whatever they deem fit as a party, they do take their stand. And whatever decision they take, it affects their party, not my party. So I shouldn't be bothered about what decisions they take. If at all they want to take a decision, it only affects their party. So why should I be bothered about that?
Sir, you said, please, you said you are disappointed with the numbers of the BJP, right? And did you say this to Modi also? Pointed out to him that, look, you are in a position of strength and I can't bargain with you much. Please help me. Did you say that? And did he point out to you your similar numbers? Your numbers in the state, they are far higher, far bigger, far higher.
So if you're going to ask me where a full stop was put, where a comma was put, then it gets slightly difficult on my part to explain what actually, how the conversation went with full stops and commas. But you know, on the face of it, we had a healthy discussion, we had a positive discussion, and he was positive about the whole thing. And it was 1 hour discussion. He spared 1 hour. He listened to us. He was positive about the whole thing. And he had, I could see that he had something in his heart that he wanted to help Andhra Pradesh. He wanted to help our state. That was quite visible when I heard him, when I saw him. So the whole conversation went positive. But obviously, in one conversation, nobody says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Nobody would conclude that. So he was positive, so that's one positive step. That's one positive direction at least. And we don't stop meeting him now with just one meeting. Every time we go there, we still persuade him and say, sir, please, and we need to just keep pushing it. What else can we do? Till he yields.
So what's the status on NDA? Are you looking at joining NDA? That was my question that you didn't answer.
Why do they need any party to join them? They themselves are 340 plus. So they don't need any of us or anybody to actually, to be joining them. Because they themselves have the numbers. Unfortunately, that is what I've been saying. I pray to God so much that, please Lord, God, don't give them that, please don't give them beyond 250. But unfortunately, what am I supposed to do? Unfortunately, God so also delivered them with an overwhelming mandate as He has delivered, as He has given me an overwhelming mandate in my state.
Perhaps you should have prayed to their God, sir.
Lord Ram.
Can you
I think we just push with one or two questions, and after that I think we'll wind up.
You invited.
Please go ahead.
You invited PM Narendra Modi and Amit Shah for your swearing in.
I'll answer that. I'll answer.
Chandra from AP speaking. Sir, regarding your meeting with KCR and Telangana dispute, what is the outcome? Because you have met him before meeting PM and also. Sir, how do you see this? Do you think any? How hopeful are you regarding the entire meeting that's happening?
See, there are two different subjects. Me meeting KCR Garu is a separate subject. Me meeting Narendra Modi ji Garu is a separate subject. Both of them two different subjects. See, as far as my meeting with KCR Garu is concerned, both of us speak the same language. And it's very important that, we share a cordial relationship, we share a good relationship between us. We combinedly can voice out for the needs of each other. And in fact, he moved one step further, and he said, much before these elections itself, he said that he's willing to support special category status also. Even that particular issue of Andhra Pradesh also, he was vocal in saying. So that being the case, he's moved a couple of steps in our favor. So my meeting KCR Garu was to invite him for my swearing in ceremony, so that states can actually work together for a better cause. And as far as meeting Narendra Modi ji Garu and also asking him to come for my swearing in ceremony is concerned, as raised by one of the journalists here. I don't know your name. You good name? Neeraj. As far as that issue is concerned, yes, I also did invite Modi ji Garu also to come and bless the state of Andhra Pradesh with his presence, with special category status, of course. But unfortunately, I think they themselves have got a swearing in ceremony of their own. And I guess I don't know. I don't know whether they would come or not. But I did ask both of them that please come over and please bless the state of Andhra Pradesh. We need your support. And when somebody like that could be convinced to come, and a big announcement on his CS, if it could be made, it would have been wonderful. And I don't know whether it will happen or not. Anyway, I think we're done.
సార్ ప్రతిసారి మీరు ఒంటరి కోరికే సిద్ధపడ్డారు ఏంటి అఖండ విజయాన్ని ముందే ఊహించారా ఎవరి ఆభరణ హస్తం తీసుకోలేదు
దేవుడి మీద ప్రజల మీద నమ్మకం.